online, but
People have.
good.
Are we not starting with the intro song?
Oh, there it is. It's okay, it's really early in the morning.
One of those days.
Depends on where you are. It's
That's
early in the
true.
morning here, but not in Italy. Tell you that.
Usually I'm sleeping right now. Here we are. Back again.
For another, yet another time this week.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Twice in a week.
Hey guys. It seems like we've had a two in a row, like Thursday morning interview.
From Europe.
Yeah.
So today we'll be talking to Jarno Zaffelli. He is the founder and head of Dromo Circuit Design.
Now, why should we care, Danny?
Because he did a badass job at Sepang.
Yes, he did.
And a whole bunch of other circuits, but we're going to focus on Sepang today.
So this is
Because this is an F1 show.
This is the guy behind the redesign of the Sepang International Circuit that
Right,
we
in
just had a
Malaysia.
great race on.
Right.
Yeah. Not in any small part due to the redesign of the circuit, I should say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I thought it was great. A lot of people thought it was great. A lot of the drivers hated it, which means it was great. which means it was perfect.
Didn't Luce like it? He was
Up until oh no.
oh
Yeah.
right. Well, I don't
Up
think
until he
that
started crying and his car caught on fire. Nothing to do with the circuit, though. That was Red Bull, obviously. But anyways, we're about to call Jarno for an interview.
Well, let's get right to it. There, Mike.
Dial the number. Doop, 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 doop.
Hello.
Do we have sound?
I don't know where it is.
Sorry,
Give us 1 second. We can't hear you.
Sorry about this. Hold on.
Sorry, it's a real story about this. We don't have audio. Give us 1 minute.
Technical difficulties.
Does it have anything to do, Mike, with what happened to the song as well?
No, there's something else. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Real
Oh.
professional.
Well, this is happening. It's you can start with a little introduction. Are we live? Do we have?
Yeah. Hello.
Hi,
Hey, there we go.
There we go. Now we can hear you. Good afternoon.
good afternoon.
Buonasera.
Thank you. Grazie.
So we're here with Jarno Zaffelli. Jarno, hello. I'm Javier.
Danny? I'm Danny.
Mike.
Hi, Danny, Mike.
Hi. I guess thank you for having us. I know that you must be super busy, and thanks for opening up some time in your schedule to talk to us. We're really excited about this. First off, congratulations. That was the track turned out great.
Yeah, great race.
Thank you.
Great race. I know it's been completed actually for a little while. Purposefully, I didn't watch any of the bike racing or other series because I wanted to see it first with the F1 cars. That's what we're all. That's what we're here for. But yeah, it was great.
Well, if you see also the other series like TCR, I guess you can get it in YouTube. You can
maybe the super
see
bikes.
how it worked for that series in race 1 and race 2. Race 2 particularly was challenging for the overtaking, but also because somebody decided to put a crank on our asphalt and 8 kilogram of oil. He destroyed the engine just an hour before the qualifying of Formula 1.
That was a little bit of excitement too. The white powder,
Yeah,
all over the
Yeah,
place.
yeah, of course, filler.
Yeah.
The cement dust. So before we get too far, maybe you want to give yourself a little intro. We've told everybody who you are, but
Well,
what is
basically,
Dromo?
Yeah, basically, Dromo is a racetrack design engineering company. Our focus is to design racetracks and, the word that is around it. So it means pit buildings and all the kind of track, drag strips, could be testing track, OEM, everything that is related to a racetrack or a race course, could be on off-road or something like that. We are on business since 2000, and we began to work with the first customers in 2007, 2008. Before was only me traveling the world from US to Japan, just to understand how the racetrack were built. Because luckily for one side and unluckily for another one, there are no manual on how to design a racetrack. And so what I did for several years was to design tracks by my own, trying to understand where there were limits on my knowledge, and traveling to fulfill the gaps.
Yeah, so I guess at this point you're legitimately competing with Tilke.
Well, to me is an honor, I can say, because Tilke is a very big company.
Yeah.
Their capability is extremely high. They are German, and so they strive for perfection in a way slightly different than us. They strive for perfection, pure perfection, for the sake of the perfection. We like to see different the racetrack design. We strive for perfection, but for us the perfection is the beauty. Is the challenging on driving, is to put in a challenge the driver and the riders. Is well, I can say, if we can compare to another company, Tilke is like an industrial engineer, very big, that is doing big things. We are more like violin makers. And so we are proud for what we do, but is a complete different approach on something. That how we approach Sepang, for example. Was an existing racetrack done by him.
Done by him, yeah.
In 1999 was the first Formula One race, and the track was already beautiful. I can say maybe the best that I ever seen done by his company.
I think it's his best, yeah.
Yeah, and so when we were challenged to improve it, was absolutely an honor, but a big risk, because to destroy it was, I mean, to make it worse than what was before was extremely easy. So we worked a lot on this, and I guess that now we can say that, at least for Formula One, we found a way to, raise the level of Sepang. To make a normal corner, the last corner, an iconic corner that in few years will become, I guess, something like, as a reference, as it could be the Corkscrew in Laguna Seca, or the Eau Rouge in Spa, with the proper proportion, of course.
That last corner is amazing. I can tell you right now, it's already, I think in my mind, it's already a classic. The drivers did not know quite how to approach it.
Yeah, it's there's maybe 100 lines through it.
Yeah, the point, is that everybody is thinking that you have to hug a curb to go fast. And when we design, for example, in Termas de Riondo, when I designed Termas de Riondo in Argentina, it was the first time that I put curbs in the wrong position to challenge the perception of the drivers and the riders. And it's exactly what we did in Sepang. The point is that everybody, as said, is used to hug the curb because they think, okay, if I get the curb, I'm faster.
Yeah.
And in turn 15, we didn't touch the layout, but the faster depends from many things. The first one is the track. The second one is not only the track layout, but also the vertical alignment. And the third factor is the setup of your car. The fourth one is your skill. So the point is that is a real discussion, because as I was speaking with several Formula One and also TCR, GP2 driver and so on, they were telling me, look, I'm just doing my best on all the lap. I'm so fast for all the lap, and then I come on the last corner and I missed it. So I have to do again the lap so fast, but thinking on how to do it the last corner. So, I'm quite happy and quite pleased of the outcome of T15. Was not I can say in English. Well, was not sure.
Oh yeah.
Of course, when you do a racetrack, it's always like a prototype. And you have to go. The first shot should be the right one. And so now I'm really looking forward to see MotoGP guys going on it, because will be a real challenge for them, and we'll see.
Yeah, I was saying on the weekend that so many of the drivers leading up to the race were saying, I hate this new turn 15. I hate it. I think that means it's perfect, though. In the post-race, in the press conference, Nico Rosberg finally admitted, yeah, it was a great corner, big challenge for the weekend. And he finally admitted
you know,
that he liked it.
Believe it, hate it or love it.
Yeah.
The point is that you have to do it.
Yeah.
And it's the same for everybody.
Yeah.
So
They hate it because it's difficult.
yeah, exactly. Point
the
is that
point.
they complain from one side because the track are easy, traditional, and so on. And so when they see a corner that is different, the first thing is an issue. The fact is that the teams already has got it, the new geometry of the track since, let's say, 2 months ago. So the reason why some of the Formula One drivers were taking this line, external line, when, for example, Sebastian Vettel just took away the bollard in a spoon, was because the engineer tried to drive the drivers in a wake of the geometry they had it and on vehicle dynamics. But again, it's not only that. It's 3 or 4 things that you have to mix together and try to do your best to do it. And you know, I've never been a professional racing driver, and I don't want to be. I don't want to be because, you know, when you are a professional driver, you pass your entire life, to learn how to go faster in a track, while I'm spending my time and my life to understand how to design a better racetrack and to build it. So I cannot do both. If you want to do something very, very good, you have to specialize yourself and strive for it. That's it. So is their duty, not mine, to go fast in a track. Point is that sometimes it happened that I have to test my tracks with cars, bike, and so on, and I find it many times. I find their job a bit, how I can say, noioso. Hold on a second. Come si dice noioso, ragazzi? Boring at the time. Boring at the time, because, you know, especially in Formula One, you have to lap, always in the same way, in the same position, in the same point, doing whatever you have to do with the map and so on. So if the track is easy and you are doing everything in the same way, okay, you have only to focus, stay focused, sorry, and you will arrive maybe inside a 1% of the accuracy they have in a normal simulator.
Right.
So the driver is not making the difference.
Right.
When you can give them a reason to do another lap because they just missed, overshoot, or something was not exactly as they wanted or predicted or something like that, well, then I did my job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great philosophy. Yeah, I like that. So what was the motivation for Sepang wanting to do this refresh? Was it mostly safety? Was it just to refresh the course because it's getting old? Was it was it the surface because it's built in a swamp? They needed to do it.
No. It was not like that. And the course was absolutely stable, perfectly stable. Point is that in 2007 was built not properly. So the specification they used in 2007 were not accurate as it should be, and so they produced bumps in the surface, and these bumps in the passing of the years became more and more evident, not because of the bumps, but because the machines, especially bikes, were going stiffer and stiffer and stiffer. So having before the Bridgestone tires and then Michelin now, but especially with Bridgestone tires, they had a lot of issues with the chassis because they were leaning for a long time, and leaning with these bumps was just disturbing the riders. So FIM asked for, I guess, 3 or 4 years to repave it, just to take away the bumps. And Sepang just asked our consulting about it, and we thought that, well, they can last sometimes, but eventually in the last 2 years, the surface was not good also for cars, because some characteristic of the aggregate were too exposed and was not good, temperature and wearing and so on. So FIA, asked by FIM, said, okay, for us it's good if you want to repaved it, and they made a tender between us and Tilke. We won.
Nice.
And once we won, we went to the track, and we began to analyze the existing track. And the track itself was amazing, as I said. Being there is much better than looking in television, definitely.
Yeah.
And we make a proposal to the circuit management. So we said, okay, we have to analyze it. We have to analyze it for safety, for bikes and cars, for the drainages, and for the asphalt. The asphalt was the first reason. But then become very clear that inside the budget they allocated for the asphalt was possible to do a lot of minor things to improve it. And thinking of drainages and so on. In the time we found drainages that were higher than the level where the water was standing. So it was not possible to
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, some very often happen when there's not a professional like us or like Dromo or the other circuit designer to assess this kind of works. It's not some kind that everybody can do it. Yes, of course, everybody can do it, but having enough experience on what they are doing. So we went on and we proposed some kind of 160 point of changes on the track. Very small things, but a total of 160 plus. And in January, we presented our design to the board, and we explained the chances we had to modify, for example, T15. And the board said, okay, for us it's good if FIM and FIA approve. Yeah. And so just during the MotoGP test, we had an inspection, and everybody together, and they said okay. Then there was another inspection also with Charlie Whiting, and everybody approved the work in principle. And then we began to do the final design, and we began the work site that was completed on 23rd of April. And the track opened to the wheels only 4 days after the finish of the asphalt.
Wow.
And we haven't got any issue. I looked in your webcast, the one before the race.
Oh yeah.
And it is interesting to say that everybody is thinking that when you have a new asphalt, it's oily. In reality, with the kind of material of bitumen we're using for the racetrack, there's not anymore this kind of issue.
Oh, really?
Okay.
So the track, yeah. So the track is done and ready. The problem is that having a fresh track could be worn much more in some points, because if everything is not done properly, absolutely perfect, you will have some behavior like raveling is called. So the first surface, the first centimeters or two, just go away for the strong traction of the slick tires. But this didn't happen. And so, well, the job was good. We had some issues in July with the drainages in a corner in T9, but then we fixed it. And so that's it.
That's amazing. Well, no, when you just pointed out that about the slick tires and whatever, that gets me thinking. In the process of designing the track, as much as talking with drivers and FIA, FIM, do you also get in touch with the people at Pirelli, the people at Michelin to see like, yeah?
Of course, because tire manufacturers are using their technology. Every tire manufacturer is different. They have a base, but everybody do tires in a different way, and there is still some kind of wizardry inside of the production of a compound. So every time it happened, for example, with the Bridgestone in Termas de Riondo, we calculated it to be the fastest racetrack in MotoGP, but we never got it. We did the second after Phillip Island, just because the tire compound bring by Bridgestone were never fast enough to achieve it.
Okay.
So the first year we worked with Bridgestone, we just developed with them way to calculate the temperature and so on. Also because the temperature and the wearing becomes in our simulation system, because it's very important for track days. When you have a track days, you don't want to destroy the tires from one side. You would like to have balance it. So if we design a track, we prefer to do something that is the more balanced possible. And so when we did this with Bridgestone, we understood that we had to go in touch with them more and more. And for example, with Sepang, we work very close with Michelin and Pirelli. With our compound, of course, and with samples, giving them what we were doing and the characteristic of the asphalt in the end, what they were doing, and so on, definitely. Because, if the show is better for them, it's also better for us. And if Pirelli tires or Michelin can deploy a good tire for our surface, it's better for everybody. Riders and drivers are enjoying more, and everybody's happy.
Absolutely. We have a couple questions now, actually, from our listeners right now that just came in, if you don't mind.
Vince Labera?
Yeah, Vince from the Netherlands just said, if you were to give a free rein to the Zandvoort circuit in the Netherlands, is there anything that jumps to your mind that you would do, or?
If I would do, sorry?
For Zandvoort, the track is. What would you do to it to make it better, like to bring it to F1 standards, for example?
Oh.
That's a big question.
Sorry, putting you on the spot, baby.
I can do a quotation on our circuit. No, I was in Zandvoort. Is a very, very, very nice track.
Yeah.
I was in Zandvoort, I guess, the last time 2 years ago. And the problem with Zandvoort is not the track, but the surrounding.
The safety, right?
No, even not the safety. No, you can manage. Safety could be managed, especially for Formula One. It's different for riders, but for cars, just keep in mind that you can manage to be in Monaco. So
Yeah,
you
that's
can
right.
manage in Zandvoort, definitely. The problem is more on the grandstands, on the public, on how to go there, how to
Hospitality.
reach there, hospitality, and so on. It's more about it. It's not about the track. Then, said this, we can definitely improve Zandvoort without destroying it, but improving it, like we did in Sepang. But again, it's more like a community affair rather than a track itself. The track is beautiful.
Another question from a listener: which track in the F1 calendar would you like if you had to choose if you were given the option any of the tracks, which one would you rather tweak around with, work with?
Oh, big question. I never thought of them.
Dromo's dream.
No, well, Dromo Dreams. I mean, I can say the opposite. I can say which is my favorite.
Okay.
It's definitely Suzuka.
Oh my
No,
god.
no doubt about it.
Don't touch that one.
In the calendar, let me check that I see the calendar, because in 21 race I can miss something. And everybody and somebody could not be happy if I missed it. Well, we have Melbourne, Bahrain, Chinese, Sochi, Barcelona, Monaco, Canada, Baku, Austria, Silverstone, Hungary, Deutschland, Hockenheim and Nürburgring, depends, Belgium, the second.
Spot.
And we have yeah, we think, yeah, I finished. Singapore, we already tweaked some. Japanese, United States, Mexico, Brazil. No, definitely, I would tweak and Abu Dhabi. I would tweak Monza.
Yeah.
Like actually we did it early this year. We won another tender against Tilke
Nice.
yeah, sorry, but we were competing against him, and yeah, we won.
A lot of people are going to be happy. Don't worry.
Okay,
A lot of
I
people.
hope so. It's not well. The point is that we won a tender to modify Monza.
Nice.
We presented the design in April this year. Was really interesting, and was apprised by FIA and under scrutiny also for FIM. But eventually, I don't know if it will ever be done, because they have bigger trouble now.
Yeah.
With the company, they had changed the central administration, but the track, I guess you can see something in internet if you want to see it, but was bringing Monza fastest. Even faster. We were taking away the first corner, and we were making a faster first corner, a much faster full throttle.
Through the forest there?
What?
Through the forest, using the old corner, right? That was going to be repaved?
Exactly. So maybe you saw it. And then there was a 3 meter, like a fast corkscrew.
Chicane type, yeah.
Completely blind, was really amazing. In the simulator, at least it was. And that's it. But so, yeah, Monza would be the only one that I would change.
Fingers crossed for that.
Let's ask him if he still has them.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jarno, I know that when we asked you for this interview, we only really agreed to like 15 minutes, but are you okay to keep talking for a little longer?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Excellent. I guess like the big thing that your company does, your asset is the DroCAS system.
Yeah.
So I guess
Yeah.
you've been working on this for a long time, right? So
Yeah, we are working on it since 2004, 5, and then the first release was 2007, and then was certified by DECRA in 2013. The reality is that the real difference is that one, because it is completely integrated with our simulation system and software to design. It is a software system that, while we design, tell us what are the best runoff area, type, dimension, and so on, we should have for different vehicles or riders and so on. It is possible to calculate very precisely what is the distance we need in several occasions. You saw in Formula One, in GP2, in Formula One, not in GP2, also in GP2, but in Formula One especially, we had Grosjean destroying the brake and arriving 1 meter in the first line of protection. That runoff was tweaked by us in a wake of improving it, and along with other runoff area. And just imagine if he would have asphalt on that runoff, the crash was absolutely 100% against the barrier.
Yeah, destroy the car.
Maybe without consequences, of course, but with the asphalt, because he lost the brake, he wouldn't have braked so much like in GP2 in turn 1. He had a problem with the brakes on the back were completely locked, and he arrived on turn 1 on the barrier. So again, DroCAS is a system that we are using on circuit. We can use it also on road. We had a lot of more than 40,000 crashes analyzed and put into our system, and allow the system to tell us if we are designing a corner, depending on the geometry of the corner we are doing, if we will have a increased probability or decreased probability to have loss of control there, for cars and for bikes. This is it. You saw it again, Sepang.
Yeah.
We had much less accident than the previous years. We had only maybe 1 event of loss of control in Formula One, and the other were all mechanical issues or collision between drivers. I mean, it works.
I really like, honestly, I mean, when I was reading about the DroCAS system, I thought, my God, this is brilliant. And just for our viewers and listeners right now, so basically, like, part of what the system does, at least from what I understand, is that you basically design the corner by simulating a lot of crashes and looking at where the lines are gonna go, right? Which is unbelievable. And what was your inspiration for that, or to even approach the problem in that direction?
Easy. I come from an engineering perspective. And when an engineer hasn't got manual, need to find one.
Yeah.
Need to find a constraint
make one.
or reason, or make one.
Yeah.
So the reality was that in 2000, when I began, I was looking for manuals and how the racetrack were built and why the runoff were built like that. And I discovered that FIA has got some consideration, but we're not complete, because in motorsport, luckily, there's still the unpredictable out there.
Yeah.
So what we are trying is only to assess the predictability and the most of the predictable crashes. So I began to understand which were the predictable crashes, and in 2009 and 2010, with the University of Florence in Italy, and Misano World Circuit, we began to throw at high speed dummies with the leather suits on asphalt, on gravel, and so on. And we began to collect data. And then we collected data on MotoGP, on superbikes. Only from MotoGP, we're getting 900 crashes per year. And so we continue to put this kind of crashes and behavior and distances and physics inside the simulator. And this allows us to design something and then run a simulation. The simulation tells us if we have to modify some or to fix some or to improve the safety or decrease it. The basic is that with this, we can focus on having the track the most challenging possible, like turn 15. Because the safety will be calculated in what it is possible to predict, of course. What is not predictable, nobody can. Yeah. But what we are really focusing in is to well, to try to do something on a racetrack that is fun to drive, not obvious, always difficult. We are working with perception. Then we calculate the safety. That's it.
Oh, that makes sense.
So, final question I have about the DroCAS system. I know you worked for years with the University Florence, throwing dummies, collecting data, programming this. But so for a project as big as Sepang, once you input the data, the geometry, the geography of the circuit, how long does it take for all this to be calculated? The danger, the safety.
Approximately 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And then on what type of computer? Are you doing it in your office with like your laptop, or you send or you send it out to a computer farm?
No. It's not so complicated because we simplified all the crashes in laws. So in mathematical laws, so it's quite easy to do it. Is a full simulation for a track like Sepang. It takes some kind like an hour. The problem is to arrive to that hour because you have to model the track, you have to get the data, you have to make a lot of investigation and put the model in. And then to work with different iterations. So maybe to have the final one, you have to run 50 or 60 times the simulation.
One with rain, one without rain, that kind of stuff?
Could be, yeah. The reality is that it is strongly dependent on experience and on the kind of racetrack you have. Because, for example, if you have a racetrack with full asphalt runoff and in a place where it's raining, you have to simulate the raining setup for the bikes or for the cars, the speed with the rain, and then calculate the asphalt, wet asphalt. With the gravel, this is not an issue. You have to calculate only the speed profile, and then the gravel is still the same, wet or not wet. So again, it is really different. I hope to have answered.
Yeah, absolutely. Just personally, like for anybody out there that might be listening, in case they're also interested in things like circuit design or getting into this kind of field, can you tell us just a little bit more about like how you arrived to this? Like, was there something that you always wanted to do, or?
No. Was not something that I always want to do. The reality was that I have a name of a rider that died in 1973 in Monza. That was Jarno Zaffelli, and I grew in the Italian Motor Valley with a lot of passion for cars, bike, and so on. When I was 23, I guess in 2000, I was 23. I was just doing something in the circuit like track days or something like that, and I was too old to do a rider or a driver, professional one. And so I decided that it would be very nice to build a track in my hometown, but was I had no clue how to do it. And so I started to work on it and try to understand how to do it. I began traveling, and I began to make interview, to ask, to try to build the whole model. Were the years of Tilke beginning with Sepang, and so he was my reference also at that time. Some kind like Marquez and Valentino Rossi.
Yeah.
And in the end, I worked for my hometown circuit for 7 years, and then I stopped. I stopped for officially 3 years till 2010 when the project was moved about 100 kilometers and was approved in 2010, but never built because the economic crisis that struck Europe in those years. And I just began studying, learning, investigating, making research, and never stopping since then.
That's awesome.
Beautiful. It's paid off for sure. So obviously. I was wondering, I know we've taken a lot of your time now, but I was wondering if you mind a quick 3-4 minute turn by turn of Sepang? Just some of the quick
no problem.
changes. So I know like the first corner, more or less untouched, right? Maybe just
more or less untouched.
just
Yes.
the runoff, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, we touched the runoff. We took away asphalt.
And then
Asphalt in the straight. Yeah.
the turn 2, one of the bigger changes, the inside dip. The inside dip is gone now.
We took away the hump to allow overtaking like Rosberg on Raikkonen.
Yeah, before your car just kind of fell into the corner and you have to kind of wait 1 second before you get on the gas. Now it's a lot smoother now, right? Into 3. Into the third corner.
Now you can go on and you can go in 3 better. Okay, I guess that turn 2 actually was not something wanted by the original designer. Was something that was built like that because a construction way.
Okay. It's kind of an anomaly there. Yeah, it was like it seemed like it wasn't supposed to be like that. It's a bit of a bump. So. The river, number 3, got rid of the river.
Yeah.
Profile is basically the same though.
We tried to reprofile it, but turn 3 is quite the same. Turn 4 is faster now.
Yeah, see, you pulled the apex back a little bit, right?
No, the apex is the same.
A little shorter on the inside.
Put down the curb and incline as the track.
It's a bit steeper on the exit, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, when you go over the apex, it is still with a hump in the middle. So on the exit, it's difficult as before, but it's faster on the entrance and on the apex.
5 and 6, they always seem terrifying to me. But there was really only one line. You had to get almost perfect. It's a little bit more open up now, right? You can.
Yeah, it is. You saw, for example, Verstappen and Ricciardo.
Yeah.
When they went down side by side. Just covering my eyes and say, no, they cannot do it. They can't make it. They did it.
They did a good job.
Turn 5, turn 6, and that's it. So, okay. Next time I have to be more extreme on that corner because they can do something amazing. I mean.
Yeah, I always love those 2 corners. 7 and 8, I guess you almost didn't. They were almost perfect before. You didn't really touch them.
It is my favorite in Sepang is that one.
I think there might be 2 of my favorite in the whole season. It's just the way it flows. Yeah. They look square, but you take it around. Yeah, I like that. Number 9.
I have to say that are quite easy.
Yeah, it's easy, but
they are fun.
It's nice to see.
They are fun to drive, but they are quite easy.
Yeah. Going into number 9, it's hard to tell with the TV angle, but from 8 to 9, is the hill different or is it the same?
The 9. The difference is that the internal curve is lowered approximately of 1 meter. So before you were going at the apex. And having the internal side, it was just pushing you on the back. Yeah. Now you can stay there and push with the throttle. You can go up easily, more easily.
Nice.
Yeah, the old 9 was kind of like 2 a little. They had a dip on the inside. You had to wait a second before you get on the throttle, right?
Exactly. But in turn 1, I managed to do what I would like to do also in turn 2. In turn 2, I didn't got it exactly what I wanted. We would like to go deeper. In reality, this was possible in turn 9. In turn 2 was not possible. But we did it, yeah.
Yeah, very good. Number 10, also kind of unchanged, but the most difficult for sure.
It's the most difficult. Yes, it's the most difficult along.
Push you outside. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We had a lot of overshoot there in the lowest category, in the lower categories. Mm-hmm. But yes, it is like that. We didn't modify it. It was already perfect. We touched the drainages there.
On a bike with number 10, is it as hard? Is it the most difficult on a bike as well? Or is it just with the car?
It is difficult. No, the most difficult now is turn 15 with the bike.
15? Oh, okay. I guess with the camber. Number 11... Also fairly similar, but was also difficult, hard to get in, a little bit easier to get out. And that 13 and 14 is kind of like 10 and 11's big brother almost.
Was my favorite in the video. When you can see the cars flowing with all the sparks was really amazing.
Yeah, touching the ground, downshifting into the 14. Then 14, I guess, also not very different. Just
No,
kinda-
is it the same? 14 is the same. We touch
hump
only the
with the
runoffs
apex.
of 12, 13 a bit, 14 nothing. We just make it flatter without the bumps. Even though some are still present, we didn't manage to take away everything, unfortunately.
And I guess 15 we already talked about 15 a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, great job.
15, beautiful.
Done the lap in 1:32 and
Yeah. Well, I guess you must be again pretty busy. We've taken already enough of your time. Before I let you go, have you ever come to Canada? Have you ever come to Toronto at all?
well, not yet. Not yet because we had some design project in the past in Canada, where the case is where we lost the tender. But well, who knows? in the
Next
future.
time.
Well, if you're ever in Toronto, we'd love to buy you a beer one time.
Yeah, no problem. I will definitely call you. No problem.
Great. I gotta say, the Montreal circuit could use that DroCAS system. They paved in the last 2-3 years a bunch of the runoffs completely, and a lot of people are upset.
In Montreal, they have they already had used the FIA system. That is a system of calculating that is, for some point, less complete than ours because it is without bikes.
Right.
But it's quite effective too. So I don't think they have much things to do in Montreal. In reality, it is more on renovation, on the pit buildings,
The pit building,
and all
for
the
sure.
stuff. Yeah. If they need an advice, no problem.
I'll give him a call for you. Thank you so much, Jarno.
Yeah, it was great to speak to
Thank you.
Welcome.
Great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you,
Wishing you
everybody.
the continued success. Win some more tenders.
Alrighty. Have
That's
a
it.
good one, man.
Have a good afternoon. Cheers.
Thank you. Thank
See
you.
ya.
Bye. Bye.
Good job. What a great guy.
That was great. That was like,
That was a fun conversation.
oh my god, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I'm all smiles now. You know, I had to pull some dust out of the side of my PlayStation yesterday to run Sepang for half an hour, just to get that feeling. Shout out to Racetrack Design on Reddit.
Yes, yeah. If
know,
anybody,
we-
anybody here is from the subreddit, from Racetrack Design, welcome. How did you like that? Tell us how you like that, and was it any? Did he say something that you weren't expecting? And if
I
you're
hope
not
I did.
here from the subreddit Racetrack Designs and you're on Reddit, check it out. There's actually a pretty interesting subreddit.
Yeah, I've been liking there for a while with my side account. I always take a look. Like last year, they had a design contest among themselves. That's how I originally found it. And then I just check it out once in a while, see what's going on.
Yeah.
Some cool stuff there though. Just basically like people who want to be like Jarno. Keep working hard.
Or people that just have some side interest in it, or would, or have ideas. It's very cool, subreddit. Sometimes like some people go full out and like design like full 3D schematics
Dude,
with like the pit building and everything.
Elevation, where's
Yeah.
the grandstands, cameras, the runoffs,
Yeah.
grass and sand and pavement, all the curbs. That's beautiful though.
I-
That's what you gotta
I love
do.
that,
That's your passion. That's how you have to approach it, right?
I love that the philosophy behind it, like sort of the Italian versus German sort of views on sort of
It's
on
so
track
evident
design.
as
Yeah,
well.
it's so
It's-
yeah.
I was almost expecting him to say something like that, but then when he said, I was like, yeah, like, so yes, Germans are Germans and they're like
Yeah.
precision and perfection, and then he's like, no, but we're Italian. It's got to be beautiful.
Yeah,
it's
it's got to flow.
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask him. this question. It's like, you know, what are the sort of design philosophies? But every time you guys asked a question or another question came up, it just was so evident that like that's their approach
Yeah.
to it. And, you know, like obviously using software to help it's not to help design the track. It's sort of help to
guide it?
to
To
guide
guide
it
it, yeah.
and be like, okay, does this work? And then they test it out. You're like, maybe not. Does this work? Oh, this one works. Okay, let's go with this sort of design into the runway or to the gravel or whatever it might be.
What he said about what they did in Termas de Riondo, and how they just placed the curbs and the banking not where the riders expected it, that's beauty. Like, that's great.
Yeah.
Like, try to scare them
this circuit, this project was a perfect example of what his company's design philosophy is, because they won a tender to redesign a Tilke circuit done by Hermann Tilke, the German. You can see side by side the difference in philosophy. It's the same circuit.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask. I wanted to ask a final question because I couldn't find any info online. We talked about this on the weekend. So this is a redesign. Technically, like, you know.
It's not a full design or anything like that, right?
Yeah, but so the track record though was broken this weekend. So is that a new track record? Is this considered a new circuit?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Or is it? I guess maybe they haven't decided themselves. I looked online. I couldn't find
it. Is. It pretty much is, just because it
yeah,
was already
pretty
like 3 or
much,
4 seconds faster than
officially
last year.
in the Sepang books where they keep all the records for the circuit. Is Lewis Hamilton's new record? Does that
I think so.
count as a new one? I think personally, I think it should.
I think it should.
Just to call it the new era. It's era 1 and era 2 and in
I
another
guess there's
20
been
years.
like 3 eras, right? Because he's talking.
Yeah,
So there was a redesign in 2007, and then this one.
That was more of like repaving than what these guys rebuilt. They smashed up the curbs.
Yeah.
They rebuilt the curbs. Everything. The
Yeah.
reprofiling.
I hope
the
I
second
hope
and a
that
half-
he keeps getting
the second and a half
that he
era.
keeps being Tilke in the tenders. Like, holy shit! Like, that was that's cool.
I
And
think-
he's a cool guy too.
I think his ace in the pocket or whatever is the DroCAS system, and it's obviously starting to prove itself and prove its worth. And if anyone's interested in the DroCAS itself, if you search Jarno Zaffelli on YouTube, you'll find a short. It's about a 10-12 minute presentation, like a slideshow that he put together that explains. It shows you a bunch of images of before and after type motorcycle crashes and how they analyze, where it goes down to where the marshals are standing, where the camera booths are, where the debris fences are and the gaps in those for flags, where poles are, what type of runoff material you need, grass, asphalt, the fake grass, pavement, gravel, where those go, how far away from the walls, what type of walls, any poles in the way, hills, if it's wet, if it's dry, if you're on a bike, what type of bike you're on, how fast you're going, what type of safety equipment you're wearing.
That's insane.
It's very comprehensive, and it also, like he said, works on roads. So he's working on selling this to municipalities for highway and road design, for where do you put traffic signals and stop signs, what trees need to be removed, and bankings and things like that. It's great. It's obviously working. I think he's gonna have no problem winning more.
No, I think
tenders. That was a successful.
Well,
weekend.
I guess to his point, he was like they'll see what's gonna happen for MotoGP, and if the MotoGP is as exciting or more exciting than the F1, really, compared to last year, if it's more exciting than last year, you get it. He's gonna be like, his phone's gonna be ringing off the hook.
Yeah, and don't be mistaken. This isn't his first project. They've been in business 16 years. They've done a bunch of tracks. We're just focused on Sepang because F1 just raced there, etc., etc. Just whatever.
I think with anything that's and this is never to take anything away from what they did to the track, but as soon as you change corners and camber and like, you're automatically, the mindset of how to approach the track from a driver's perspective, I imagine, is that like, okay, now this is new, this is different, and it's going to be challenging in a slightly different way. So I think it makes it a bit more just different already from the get-go, right? From a design sort of perspective.
Oh, and we talked about it in the episode that we put out earlier this week, that even like the drivers themselves were watching the GP2 and GP3 races, and
what are they doing?
Yeah, just to see like how are they approaching these new corners, which was it's cool to hear, and it was awesome to see them like actually taking so many different lines, and like you said, in GP2 and GP3, like those were apparently crazy races. Because everybody was just all over the place.
Yeah, it's great. And I'm glad that we got to speak to the man himself. I'll be honest, I was a little surprised, but it shows his dedication to what he's doing. Right?
Absolutely.
This is his pride. He's got pride in his work, and
it really that it really shines through that he's so proud of his work and so proud that things are working out and that his system is
As he should
working.
be, right?
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. He definitely should be, and we wish him many more successes.
yeah, beautiful job. Thank you, sir.
Um,
I guess we'll be back probably Tuesday after the Japanese Grand Prix.
Does Tuesday work for you guys? Like, because I know that we here in Canada it's gonna be a long weekend because of Thanksgiving,
Right.
But
I'll be
I'm
back.
doing Thanksgiving on Saturday, so
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good for Tuesday. Yeah.
Tuesday
I'm
works.
for Tuesday too. And
Tuesday, guys.
Even though it's Thanksgiving, Betty's is still happening. We'll
yes,
be there
we will
Sunday
be showing,
for the race.
Yeah, we will be showing the Japanese Grand Prix. We're not 100% sure on the time yet. I have to still review that. It is on right now on the website. On our website, it says that we'll be there at noon, from noon to 4. I'll
We should post that
by the
probably
end
this
by the end
afternoon.
of by the end of tonight, like by the end of today, we will have all those details cleared out.
Sorry,
but
Tony.
yeah, come out, yeah, come out to Betty's this weekend. We'll be there as well. I mean, at least I will be. I don't know about you guys. All right, well, and that's it for
it.
a little short episode. Thank you again so much to
Play us out,
Jarno.
sir. Thank you, Jarno. I'm going back to bed.
Yeah. See ya.
Cheers.
Woo.
Mm-hmm.